Hello and welcome to In the Call to the Wenton King. Today we're doing a bit more Sabbath, sorry. It's time for Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. Oh yes. Look at the cover. Fantastic cover.
Yeah.
I love the idea of it. The idea is it's a dying man and that's all the sort of demons around him and actually himself through his life making fun of him. That's the idea. But then there's the one side of it is that all that bad stuff, but then the same dying man is on that side as well. I also think, the title Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, it's about having a go at the critics and everything and not being fair on them. And I think, and possibly also religious not cases as well, they look at Black Sabbath, that's what they see, the devil, 666. But that's the same picture. So when you open it up, you see the same picture and it's a good picture. So if you actually listen, pay attention, then you'll find out what they're really like. Okay, I'll get this out of the way. I think this is their best album. Not only that. Okay, if we said Master Reality, that's what we recommend if you want to hear what Black Sabbath sound like. Not Paranoid. That was our thing, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. But if you don't really like Black Sabbath, but you like 70s music, you like Dark Side of the Moon and Tubular Bells and all that stuff, and you like Selling England by the Pound, and you like Camel, you like Led Zeppelin 4. You like all, Crime of the Century, you like all the classic 70s rock albums, but Sabbath, it's heavy and a bit dumb. You need to listen to this album, you will like it. If you like that kind of music, you will like this. This and Heaven and Hell are their high points, and as well as the very early stuff.
Interesting that. This was my introduction to Black Sabbath actually. This is the first Sabbath album I bought, yeah. I had it on vinyl and was it recorded in the same studios as Yes?
Yeah, they were on tour in '72. Bizarrely, Yes was supporting Sabbath, which was a terrible idea. And there was a lot of snobbery with Yes being on Muso and everything, and goes Black Sabbath. But Rick Wakeman found them very boring on tour, and with all their Buddhist stuff and John Anderson, etc. And he got on fantastically, obviously, with Ozzy and Bill, as you'd expect. So he came into the studios and played on the album. How much of the album he played on is up for question. He certainly did obviously play on Sabbra Cadabra.
Yeah.
Possibly the solo in Who Are You as well. Which gives you an idea of the flavour of this is certainly a change from Master Reality. And it's only here you see how Volume 4 was a step. And maybe what they were attempting with Volume 4, because they were off their heads, they succeed here, 100%. And the production as well, it sparkles, wonderful. Possibly because they went back to their LA stupid drug house, and Stevie Wonder had installed keyboards in there and ruined everything, and they can't fit their drugs in the room anymore. So they went to this castle in the UK, which is actually a brilliant idea. Actually, when you think about it, that seems obvious now. Go to a haunted castle and record some Sabbath, But of course, actually, they started playing tricks on each other, scared the crap out of each other. They weren't sure who was playing a trick and what was real. And supposedly they saw a figure walk in a room and there was no one in the room and all this. And I'm sure what was actually happening was they were playing tricks on each other and just wound each other up so much. They kept coming back, but they went home at night because they couldn't stay in the room because they were terrified. Bill would actually slept with a dagger under his pillow and things like this. But I think that environment did something, because there is something between Volume 4 and Sabbath Bloody Sabbath.
Well, yeah, you're right. It sounds cleaner.
Yeah.
Every track.
It's arranged perfectly and perfected.
It feels finished.
Yeah. This was where Tony Iommi's writer's block first really, really came into. I think he had a bit of problems with Volume 4. He started to notice people were expecting him, come on. But basically they were completely stuck, and that's why the LA things were cancelled. He just wasn't coming out with anything. And it was the riff to Sabbath Bloody Sabbath was the big thing. Yeah.
Track 1, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath.
Yeah. It's funny how they're moving along and they're changing, and they've done this fantastic album, and yet the crowning moment on the album is definitive, generic Black Sabbath. Sabbath Bloody Sabbath defines what Sabbath sound like, really. It's their signature tune, isn't it? It's their theme tune. It's so obviously Sabbath, it doesn't do anything but that, but it is just fantastic. Ozzy's finest vocal achievement. It is a vocal achievement. Try and sing it. You will not be able to sing Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. It's interesting, Dio didn't try and sing it. They used to play the riff and he didn't sing it. I don't think it would have suited his voice. Dio could reach the notes, obviously, but that's not what it's about. Tony Martin did sing it. Weirdly, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath obviously is in C sharp because it's down-tuned. It's tuned up to D sharp. So he sung it a whole tone sharp of what Ozzy was singing it, but didn't sing the very high bit. He sung it with a different melody, so that was very interesting. But we're not talking about that. Brilliant lyrics, obviously it's about the critics and all that, as well as being about Bloody Sunday, which was contemporary, remember. It wasn't just some 80s band trying to be cool. One of the lyrics, of course, is Bog Blast All of You. Do you know what that's from?
No.
Clockwork Orange. It's Clockwork Orange speak. What's that called?
Nadsat.
Yeah, that's that, yeah. So Bog Blast All of You is from that. For years I didn't know what the hell that was. God knows as your dog knows. Is that what you're saying? God knows as your dog knows. Dog knows is one word. Bog Blast All of You. That doesn't help. That doesn't help. That's right. Yeah, I'm sure it means something. Yeah, a definitive Sabbath moment, as definitive as the song Black Sabbath, I think. It's that level.
Yeah, well, I mean, Volume 4 is experimental, and you know, it's an interesting album. As a fan, you would be kind of into it, but the motion could be to continue into complete and utter
weirdness
and
self-destruction. Yeah.
So I could imagine putting this on for the first time is like, whoa,
yeah,
we're back in business.
Yeah.
Not really realising that you sort of missed, you were missing anything, because I would have thought most Sabbath fans would have liked Volume 4.
Yeah.
But they would have realised at this point, hang on, it could have been a whole lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Track 2.
A National Acrobat.
National Acrobat. But of course, actually, this album is much more sophisticated than just classic Sabbath. And I mean, Sabbath is as well in a way, but it ain't just normal riffs. It's a different feel on this track. It's a fantastic arrangement. It's quite a few different things going on, but the feel of the riffs isn't a heavy riff. It's sort of fragility, like fragile, very different, and the melancholy to it. And of course, you've got that jam in the middle. Like the 70s. Like they're in the 70s. But then it goes off in a different direction, and you've got the speeded up ending echoing War Pigs, which is interesting because they didn't do that speed up of War Pigs. They didn't even like it. But the suits it very well. Do you know what the song's about?
No.
It's about the adventures of a sperm, I think. So I think later on, I think Ozzy was dismissive about saying it's a song about wanking. Weird and brilliant, nothing like it. Great.
Yeah.
Track 3.
Fluff.
This is the only. Well, there's 2 points on the album which could be counted as controversial. This is the one controversial bit. I think it's great. It just works very well. It's because it's perfectly arranged and there's plenty going on. So it goes on for a couple of minutes. But it's not like Laguna Sunrise where it just repeats and repeats and then some horrible syrupy strings on it. There's all sorts of stuff going on and it's great and it fits on the album. So I love Fluff. It's great.
It feels like they're sort of exploring a slightly different landscape. Like, whereas other albums were quite varied, so you'd stick in a Planet Caravan in there or something like that and it changed. But it felt like a very specific, quite dingy, dark landscape. Whereas this, it does feel a little bit sunnier. As you say, it shines, and that comes through the feel of the actual tones as well. Everything about it is a little bit brighter. It's
a surreal world rather than just a dark world.
Yeah,
A dark yellow submarine. There's a surrealness to it. Maybe that's not quite right. Not as cartoony.
Yeah. Next track, Sabbra Cadabra.
This is quite a famous song, I think. I don't think just because Metallica did it, although it must have helped. Is it Black Sabbath does Z? Do you think it's Black Sabbath does Z?
It could be actually, yeah.
Because it's so upbeat and it's about my woman, my baby, etc. But it's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
In fact, Sabbath did it and they did it once, and they did it in a way Led Zeppelin didn't. It's definitely Sabbath, and of course you've got the extended jam at the end. The plan was to make it fade, but because Wakeman was on it, they kept the whole thing right to the end, and to hear that. The way the loose jam at the end fades away, to have something very loose and jammy in the middle works so well in the context of all this very, very carefully arranged stuff around it. So it's a classic.
It's actually it's one of my favourite Black Sabbath songs. I don't know why.
And it is weird and druggy and wobbly as well, isn't it?
Similarly, you can sing along with it though. It's got enough clarity of lyrics.
Yeah,
and it's the vocal melody is interesting enough and catchy enough to give you that feeling that you can sing along with it. But it's, you know, it's not a sing along song. It's not designed for that purpose. If you know what I mean. It's designed to be quite interesting and quite good. Maybe Rick Wakeman had quite a profound effect on the album. Maybe they were looking for, or Tony Iommi was looking for something, and Rick Wakeman being there sort of helped them along a little bit.
Yeah, the atmosphere of him being there must have been very different.
Yeah.
And maybe just having just the four of them there became a problem.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why a lot of the stuff was found by Tony Iommi by himself with the engineer. Next song.
Killing Yourself to Live.
Killing Yourself to Live. Classic Sabbath. I mean, that must be I assume that's the start of the second side. Because it's 8 songs and this is track 5. So, and brilliant opener, etc. Real classic. Etc. Classic riff, you know. Etc. But it's not like a heavy riff, is it? It's not a dirgy, you know, or Iron Man or whatever. It's a whole different vibe. That was obviously what Tony Iommi was looking for, and I think he nailed it.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Great lyrics. Classic Sabbath track.
Yeah, definitely. Next track. Who Are You?
Who Are You? Yeah, this is the Moog one. Pew, pew, pew. This song came about because Ozzy bought a Moog synthesizer. That in itself is funny. But you can imagine him going pew, 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 pew. Yeah. The song itself, there could be an argument it's a bit boring, but I would listen to it as an album track, not as an individual track. That's not necessarily a bad thing, because for me the album is one thing, is one body, and this is the journey before we come to the finale. You know, it's very long.
Yeah, the length is a problem, but the vocal riff is good. Yeah, you know, the move bit is the bit that stands out. Yeah, you think that, but actually, when you think about vocal riff and how it sort of stands out on top of the Moog, it's quite impressive. It's another impressive Ozzy vocal melody slash riff.
Yeah, that's what he does. Yeah. Those vocal melodies that people don't realise that, you know, he wrote those tunes. The thing is it Wakeman playing the solo? He's not playing the beep beep. What would you get him to do that? I think the solo sounds like Wakeman. It could have been Tony Iommi playing it, but I think it sounds like Wakeman to me. There's no Wakeman-y on there, but I think there's a certain style that could be. It could be Iommi trying to sound like him. Interesting one.
Mm-hmm. Next track, Looking for Today.
Looking for Today. Yeah, what do we say about Looking for Today? Got hand claps. It's all about quality. Something like that could so easily sound, they're trying to do a pop song, or they're trying to do a nice, happy song. Can't do that. But it's just the quality of it. It's just such a fantastic song, and it's kind of weird. Like the rest of the album, it's in this other world. One of the songs on here I know Geezer dreamt, woke up and wrote, or he says he does. Like Paul McCartney says he dreamt yesterday and thought it was someone else's song. I think it's Looking for Today. It might be Spiral Architect, but I'm thinking maybe it's Looking for Today, because it's such a strange thing to come out with.
Yeah.
Looking for Today. You know, brilliant.
Yeah, and last track,
Spiral
Architect.
The Moment, best song on the album. Better than the title track. It's in my top 5 favourite Sabbath songs, definitely. There is nothing like Spiral Architect in the world. You know, it's the big finale of the album. It's not like Stairway to Heaven. It's nothing like anything. It's just brilliant. I can't even explain how great it is, you know. Again, fantastic Aussie vocals. I love the end of just Bill and Geezer. I think they were just jamming after the song had finished, and they included it on the album, put the applause on the end. Just adds to the whole surreal quality of the album. They're doing exactly what the critics were saying they couldn't do.
Yeah.
And it's otherworldly, and it's surreal, and it's not just like sludgy riffs.
Yeah. I think they knew they had a good album on their hands here, didn't they?
Yeah.
I'd tell you how good the album is, yeah. I mean, my first introduction to it was on LP, and trouble came in deciding which side to play. Because I wasn't the type that would play one side, then get up, turn over and play the other.
Yeah.
I would leave one side on for a while and listen to that a few times, and then maybe turn over. And it was always very difficult to decide which side I was actually going to play. Because it is amazingly consistent.
Yeah.
Consistently good.
It really is. They killed it. 6 eggs. It's the only Sabbath album I will give 6 eggs.
Okay, I ain't gonna say anything because you didn't say anything on the last one.
Okay.
So you can get all the praise mail.
It's wrong. But yeah, like I said, even if you don't like Sabbath, but you like 70s rock music, you need to hear that album.
Yeah.
It's not what you think. See you next time.